Welcome. I'm Eddie Muller, your guide to the darkest corners of the TCM library, stuff normally reserved for Noir Alley on Saturday nights. But now that the days are longer and the nights are warmer, TCM has decided you all can use a whole summer of darkness. Friday nights in June and July, I'm here with some of the best film noirs ever made. Our first film tonight being a prime example, perhaps the prime example. From RKO Radio Pictures in 1947, starring Robert Mitchum, Jane Greer, and Kirk Douglas, it's Out of the Past. Where do I even start with this one? Okay, Mitchum. After more than 4 years in Hollywood and appearances in a couple of dozen features and shorts, the actor only had one major role to his credit in the 1945 World War II drama, The Story of G.I. Joe. He earned a supporting actor Oscar nomination for it, but it wasn't until this film, made 2 years later, that Mitchum solidified his leading man status, both with RKO and the public. Well, what took so long? It's not like Mitchum changed his style at all during those years, or that he hadn't played tough guys before. What finally clicked was the combination of a mysterious, fast-paced story, scorching chemistry with his leading lady, and a director, French immigrant Jacques Tourneur, who had an innate feel for this kind of material. Out of the Past is based on the novel Build My Gallows High by Daniel Mannering. Mitchum plays a private detective hired by a smarmy racketeer, that's Kirk Douglas, to track down a runaway girlfriend who stole $40,000 from him after shooting him. Tracking her down proves to be the easy part. Not succumbing to her charms is a lot tougher, especially given that she's played by Jane Greer. When RKO acquired the rights to the story, it hired Mannering to adapt his own book. At one point, they brought in famed crime novelist James M. Cain for a rewrite, but it was ultimately Mannering who did the complex final draft. Later still, Frank Fenton was brought in to script some of Mitchum's voiceover. The result is definitive noir storytelling, replete with sardonic narration, overlapping flashbacks, sexy seductions, brutal backstabbings, and inescapable comeuppance for one and all. With a cast that also includes Rhonda Fleming, Virginia Houston, Paul Valentine, and Dickie Moore. Here is Out of the Past. Although Jane Greer had gotten her name above the title on her previous film at RKO, They Won't Believe Me, this was really her first starring role. And what a way to establish yourself, playing at only 22, one of the greatest femme fatales of all time. She was, however, a nervous wreck making it, and she credited Robert Mitchum for helping her get through it. Jane recalled that Mitchum liked to act like he was above it all, so laid back that he couldn't be bothered to memorize his lines ahead of time. He'd show up on the set and ask the script supervisor, "What are the lyrics?" Well, she'd read the lines to him, and Mitchum would repeat them verbatim. Well, Jane tried the same approach, figuring she'd adopt the same casual style as Mitchum. But the result was that she kept blowing takes, so she quickly went back to studying the script the night before. Jane figured Mitchum either had a photographic memory or he was doing a lot more preparation than he let on, but was fostering that baby I don't care attitude. Mitchum loved Jane like a kid sister, and he proved it when one day the wardrobe department sent her onto the set in an outfit that didn't fit quite right. Mitchum stopped the scene, asked for a handful of safety pins, and personally pinned the dress to make it look better on camera. That is a good co-star. Up next, our Summer of Darkness Festival continues with Dennis O'Keefe as an escaped convict on the run with both Claire Trevor and Marcia Hunt. Raw Deal is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, Raw Deal. Then Moonrise. And later, Harper. Paul Newman gets on our case tonight.